Homeowners who have to repay mortgages are feeling the pressure after another interest rate hike. The South African Reserve Bank hiked the repo rate by 50 basis points. We're now joined to tell us how homeowners can manage the situation by Mfundo Mabaso, FNB segment growth head. Thank you very much, Mfundo, for your time this afternoon. What is the trend or the correlation of rising interest rates in terms of what we're seeing homeowners go through at the moment? Are they having to give up their homes?
So good afternoon, and yes, I think a tough environment for our customers, who, as a result of the increase, of the last 50 basis points and the 50 basis points before that, this results in them having to pay a little bit more for their homes and other debt commitments that they might have. So we are seeing a little bit of a pressure point from customers who might be at the very last end of the disposable income. So there is a bit of a pinch from our customers.
What sort of relief are you then offering to customers?
So I think different banks are offer different solutions. I think from an FNB point of view, we encourage our customers to come and talk to us sooner rather than later, so that we can help them structure their debt in such a way that it can provide some relief. So I think one of the major things that we do firsthand is that we try and extend the loan term to just give the customer a little bit of a relief, which then results in the customer's monthly repayment reducing. We also offer customers a payment holiday. That is a little bit of a temporary measure, because we cannot, wait for the customer not to pay for too long. That is just to help the customer in the few months that we would have offered this, for them to have a bit of a breathing room to restructure their finances, so that when the repayments do resume, they find themselves in a better position. This is just to mention but a few.
And people are encouraged to pay more if you have more.
Absolutely. Look, it's a tough environment to be paying in a little bit more. But if you do pay in a little bit more, in the long run, you do save on interest, and you do reduce the term of your repayment or of the loan, which altogether then results in the customer paying significantly less in the longer term. But when you look at it in the short term, customers are a bit squeezed from a disposable income perspective. So we understand that might not be the immediate solution available to them.
Sure. People are also encouraged to earn extra income if you can, like letting out a room on your property?
Absolutely. I think, the colloquial term is that side hustles are a big relief for customers, for those who are able to. They can actually assist customers earn a little bit more to be able to keep up with their repayment and debt commitment. I think all of these are proactive, solutions that customers can engage in sooner rather than later. And one of the things that customers should not do is bury their heads in the sand and hope that the problem gets away. So it is very important for customers to reach out for help and to talk to their banks sooner rather than later.
Here's a question for you, Mfundo, from our producer, Nick. He wants to know how banks then, or if you get involved at all, because he would then sign a contract with you, and if he lets out his property, what then happens?
No, so the property is the customer's. We have an interest because we borrowed money for the customer to buy the property. But if the customer wants to let out the property, they are well within their right to do so. And quite honestly, it is encouraged if that is a way in which the customer sees a way out in terms of earning a little bit more. I think if that doesn't work and all these other solutions don't work, the last resort, and we don't want customers to lose their properties, we do help customers with a quick sell product within FNB to help them sell their property as quickly as possible, to get out of the debt commitment and then try again later on to preserve their good name, so that when they do get back onto their feet and they're able to buy their next property, that they've got a good credit record. even though they were faced with a bit of hard time.
Mfundo, please do indulge us if you can. There are conversations that are being had in some sectors of society that say, well, it is quite difficult to get funding or access to property. And when you do, you've got so many years that you need to repay that debt. And in that interim, if you've paid for 10 years and you maybe skip a year, then your house gets repossessed. And so the suggestion that it is much more easier to get funding, for instance, for a car than it is to get funding for a home. Is this something that has come to your radar?
Look, I think each customer has had a different experience and different sets of circumstances present themselves differently when customers do come for various, loan solutions to banks. I think the fundamental for us is that a bond application or a home loan application is a credit agreement that we would have with the customer. So what we would then do is that we would assess whether the customer is able to afford that property or not. Now, if a customer is buying above their income, the likelihood that we would decline is high. If you're buying within your means, the likelihood of an approval is much higher. What would happen is that customers push out the purchase of a bigger asset, the home being the biggest one. So generally, when customers do come for a home loan, by that time they've already accumulated quite a few other debts, which then presents with a bit of an issue in terms of us being able to extend the loan. But I think there isn't a preference for us offering a car loan, personal loan, rather than a mortgage solution to customers. We want to be able to put as many customers and as many South Africans in homes as possible within responsible lending principles, of course.
Fair enough, and thank you for your indulgence. Mfundo Mabaso is FNB segment growth head. Thank you.